friends, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to recommend some of my favorite audiobooks. So these are going to be across several different genres, mostly horror and romance, as those are the two genres that I read the most. But we have some like mysteries and stuff in there, so if you are interested in some fantastic audiobooks, I have them here. So the first up is the Love Line series by Cara Bastone. This is an Audible original series, and all of the books in the series are full cast with sounds. So the first one is about two people who meet on a like customer service line. So there's sounds of the phone, there's like a full cast audio. It's fantastic. The third one is two people on a bus with like bus sounds and city sounds and stuff. Just very well produced like audiobooks. And I don't necessarily think that the stories would work themselves as ebooks because it's like a full experience, but they're very cute. They're little like novellas, and they end in HFNs, and they're just random strangers meeting and deciding that they want to continue a relationship outside of like the setting that they met in. We then have Finley Donovan is Killing It, and the second book in the series is also a great audiobook. This is a cozy mystery, like an absurdist mystery about Finley Donovan, who unwittingly or begrudgingly becomes an assassin for hire. She is an author who is meeting with her publicist at Panera, and someone overhears her talking about the murder mystery book that she's writing and thinks that she's a hitwoman for hire and offers her like $50,000 or something like that, which seems a little low for killing someone. That might not be the right amount, but the audiobook for this is fantastic. This is such a fun story, and I think listening to it just makes it all the more absurd. I don't know if reading it physically or like an ebook version would have the same effect as listening to the audiobook, because there's such fun hijinks going on that having someone like read it to you is almost like watching it, and it's just so fun and engaging, and it's just a great listening experience. So next up is Near the Bone, and I'm gonna kind of talk about this one and No Exit in tandem because they have very similar feelings. So Near the Bone is the story of a woman who is trapped on a mountain with her abusive husband, and something that seems to be otherworldly that is hunting them down. And then No Exit is about a woman who gets trapped in a rest station, and she discovers a child in the back of the van, and she's trying to get the child out and discover who kidnapped the child. Not only are they both snowy settings, but they both have very contained, suffocating, apprehensive feelings to them. And listening to someone recount the events like that is so chilling to listen to. It builds like the feelings of discomfort very well. They're both very engaging stories. The writing in it is very engaging. So next up is a short story. It's House at the Bottom of the Lake. This is about two teenagers who go on a date, and they discover a house at the bottom of the lake, and it's very, very, very eerie. They quickly become obsessed with the house, and they spend all of their time in the house, or like near the house, like on the surface of the water, obviously. And you never really know what's going on. You never really get any sort of closure, but because this is such an apprehensive and weird and kind of creepy story, the apprehension of listening to it is just on a whole other level. And then next up is Nothing But Blackened Teeth, which is a haunted house story. It's very Ring-esque in the way that the like beings are described. It is about a group of friends who go on a destination wedding to this haunted house, and it is in Japan, and some weird stuff starts happening, and the writing is so beautiful and descriptive, and it gets better and better as the story goes on. And once like shit just starts going out of control, the horror, just like the descriptions around the horror just amp up so much more, and listening to it is truly a whole other experience. Like just listening to the way that it's described, you feel like you're there, and it feels like there's that chill at the back of your neck that something is happening, and it's a great audiobook. We then have Wolfgang Wild, which is a paranormal romance, quite a different departure from the other things on this list that I've mentioned so far. And this is a paranormal romance about a witch and a guy who is unable to shift. And the audiobook is dual narrated, and the hero's voice was made for audiobook narration. The The hero in particular has like 2 different voices. So he has himself and he has his wolf, and their relationship dynamic is so great. It's like an Eddie Brock and Venom kind of dynamic, and it's super funny, and the audiobook narrator's voice just fits the character so well. And this is such a fun series to just listen to all together. Like, the story is just fun and lighthearted. Lovely to listen to. The second one is good as well to listen to. And then the last one is probably the standout of this whole list, and that is The Last Final Girl. This is like an ode to horror movies. It's a ode to slasher movies in particular, and this one follows a town that a slasher is taking place, and it's written as if you're reading a play, like a screenplay. It has stage directions. I don't think that reading it would have the same effect as listening to it, because you're listening to camera pans here, person does this, object does this, like that sort of narration style. And while I don't feel like it'll be for everybody, I definitely think listening to the audiobook has like the biggest impact, and is definitely one of the best audiobooks on this list. An honorable mention is Dune. I don't really love the story itself, but it's a fantastically produced audiobook. But let me know down in the comments your recommendations. If you don't have anything to say, leave headphones in the comments. If you're looking for more content from me, check out my Instagram or my podcast Instagram. Make sure you follow my podcast on all your streaming platforms. It's a horror podcast. It's really fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next one.